Good morning, people of the world, all people of all nations, because I think that's who's watching these videos, is everybody in the entire world, or not. Today we're back out in Mesa, and we are gonna ride out to Tortilla Flat and around the Usery Park loop. I'm trying to show my buddy Ian these cool roads out here, so that's the plan. I might do a few efforts today. We are racing again this next weekend, so don't want to go too crazy. And we'll see how it goes. All right, come along. I can't see your ass crack. I'm quite disappointed. All right, so the workout plan for today was to do 4 7-minute efforts in tempo or sweet spot, somewhere between tempo or sweet spot. For me, that's somewhere between 260 watts and 300 watts. So I was gonna try to do that. Oh, look, I mounted my GoPro camera backwards. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I just was sharing with all of you that I'm normal. Okay, so we are headed up the Apache Trail. It was officially, it's a 40-mile route that the Apaches used to walk through, the Apache Indians, hundreds and maybe 1,000 years ago. It was originally a footpath for them to travel. It also became a trade route for people, and so this road goes along the Apache Trail. It goes from Apache Junction all the way out to Tortilla Flats. It became a stagecoach travel stop for several years, and it was pretty interesting. The road was actually constructed between 1903 and 1905, and they actually used the Apache Indians to do most of the construction. So kind of an interesting little spot. It's gorgeous. It goes through beautiful saguaro forest, or maybe not really forest, but whatnot. It's all pretty cool. So gorgeous place, lots of great stuff to see. And I was trying to do some efforts. Ian would kind of trail off behind me while I did some efforts. He stuck with me for a few, and some he just completely smoked me on. So we were having a good time out there riding together. You go down to this place called Canyon Lake. There's a couple of one-way bridges that you cruise across, and it's really quite gorgeous. You go to this little spot. Did I already read this one? Oh, I may have. Anyway, you end up going to the town of Tortilla Flat. It's the smallest quote-unquote community in Arizona with a population of 6. So there's actually a post office there. I don't know if there's a school, but it's like 5 different buildings. They all burnt down once in the 80s and were rebuilt. Here's a couple of tourists that are asking Ian, "Oh, so how many miles do you ride every day?" And you're like, "Oh, Ian, I'm Coach Gibbo, and I ride 50 to 60 miles a day."
What's your take on Tortilla Flat?
It's a great road. Beautiful.
Pretty slick, huh? Let's go chase those motorcycles. Tortilla Flats took its name from a nearby butte shaped like a tortilla. I never knew that, so I finally looked it up. So that's kind of cool. We certainly had a good time riding out here. This is a very popular ride for cyclists. You're not supposed to pass cars on the WO lane, but I did that. Sorry. Let's remove that.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm leaving it in.
It's not as bad as
usually
you think.
we see lots of cyclists out here. Today we saw a couple dozen
seems like
other
it's coming
cyclists
down,
out
but
here, and it was
it's not so
just
bad.
gorgeous. So I did my 7-minute efforts. I did 4 of them, and then was trying to keep the rest of it kind of zone 2. This is Canyon Lake. You can take your boat out on this lake and have a good time. When you, just as you leave Canyon Lake and you start up this other climb, which is quite pretty, here's another one of these little one-way bridges. They're not very wide. Cars wait. The cars were really respectful all day. Nobody rolled coal on us or buzzed us very closely, and so that was all quite lovely. There's like a 3-mile climb out from the lake. I was done with my efforts, and I was trying to stay around 230 or 240 watts for this climb, and Ian just slowly rode away from me. His legs started to feel good, and he just rolled up the hill. He beat me by almost 2 minutes up the hill, which is kind of fantastic. So glad he's feeling better. Here was the workout I was supposed to do, 4 by 7 minutes. Here's what I actually did on the right side. I did manage to do the 4 efforts, and I averaged somewhere between 270 and 280 watts for each one of those 7-minute efforts. Not huge, but for me, that was the work I needed today. Didn't need to lay myself out. Did a lot of zone 2 on either side. That workout called for a 75-minute workout, and we actually stayed out for like 2.5 hours. So a lot longer than planned, but it was just too pretty. The weather was perfect. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold, it wasn't windy. I don't know. April is just fantastic. There's our final route, 46 miles, 2,700 feet of climbing, about 2.5 hours. We did not do the usury loop. Ian's knee was bothering me a little bit here, and so we decided that was enough.
Big mistake. Big mistake. Nice
So now it's time to
man.
jump in the pool. My sister's pool. I think it was like
Don't hurt
60
yourself.
degrees.
Yeah. Is it chilly?
All right, folks, thanks for watching. It's all good.
Feels good. Where's my hot shower?